I've Had It is brought to you by Peloton. Find your zone with a 30-day worry-free home trial of Peloton bikes. Visit onepeloton.com/home-trial. So are we supposed to start the podcast?
Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm screwing up. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's weak. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
God. Okay, so listener, the Pumps was totally on the spot because we have an in-studio guest today, all the way from New York to Action City, because he wanted to see that clap in person, which
That's exactly why he's here.
it took her 3 times, but that's neither here nor there. But we're just going to go ahead and introduce everybody on the pod immediately because this is literally an emergency episode because we have a visitor from New York City to Oklahoma City, aka Action City. Welcome to I've Had It. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Angie.
And we have with us today Matt Bellassai.
Yes, the Italian. You got to give the Italian.
She thinks she's
chef.
Italian, so that's perfect.
Matt Bellassai.
I always say my family is Chef Boyardee Italian because we are technically Italian, but we ate spaghetti out of a jar.
Yeah.
So it's, I like when you put the spin on it. It makes me feel more Italian.
Yeah, Matteo Bellassai.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a good
Okay,
one.
let me ask you this. Were you razzle-dazzled by the clap when you saw it in person?
Stop it.
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
Tingles all over, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, I felt something. I don't want to, we just met, so I don't want to get too fresh right off the bat.
Right.
But yeah, no, I felt it. I tingled a little bit.
Another question. When you entered the studio and came up the stairs and you saw Pumps and I, could you tell that her star was emanating brighter than mine? Could you
are
see it?
so obnoxious.
and
I can't
sense it?
take it.
I did, yeah. I mean, I don't want to pit you two against one another.
Right.
It sounds like you're doing that enough for all of us. But
Right.
yeah, no, I mean, hey, I'm not getting in between anybody. So
You're
I'll reserve
Switzerland.
judgment
Yes.
Right.
for everybody outside of this studio.
Well, Pumps and I just had lunch and we realized there is something that we've had it with that we have been remiss in bringing up on this fucking heaping pile of shit podcast of ours. And this product is a heaping pile of shit.
Uh-huh.
And this comment and this Had It may be deemed unpatriotic, but we're going to go there.
Okay.
We've had it with American cheese.
It's bad.
See, okay, I also just had lunch. I'm sure yours was more elegant than mine. I ate a Subway sandwich in the car. And
Sounds divine.
Here, this is my first time in Oklahoma City also, and the Subway was in a gas station. So
Oh, yeah.
I got the full Oklahoma City experience. But especially at Subway when you have the array of cheeses that you have to choose from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
American, I've never quite understood it.
No, it's
like
so
the
overprocessed.
default cheese.
This is how bad it is. I buy American cheese every time I go to the grocery store because that's Blaze's treat. I don't ever use
Blaze
it.
is her husband.
Blaze is my dog.
I assumed it was either, a spouse or an animal.
Yeah.
It's her husky. He's shaved. He's a shaved husky. He's homosexual.
Oh, love
We've
it.
just
He's
ordered
great.
him a rainbow puffer because we've been told by veterinarians that you should never shave a husky. But Pumps is a bad pet owner. So she shaves her husky. So we're getting him a gay puffer.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because we walk in the neighborhood and I didn't want him to be cold in the winter because he loves his walks. So we're
Right.
getting the puffer.
Like in my mind, the owner of a gay animal, it's always like one of those tiny shivering chihuahuas. So I imagine that it's like harder to find for a larger dog.
husky.
Because
Yeah.
they're always like, no, there's no gay person is going to have this dog.
He's a
Yeah,
plus size
a plus
queen
size
that
queen.
likes American cheese, and we hate American cheese.
Let's get back to the cheese.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bad.
Okay, because here's the problem with this. If you're raised in America, you're told, whether it's true or not, listener, international listeners, don't lose your fucking mind. This is what they tell us in school. It's the best country in the world. We're the best. We're the brightest. Our military has kicked fucking ass. Rah, rah, sis, boom, bah, USA. That fucking cheese is not on brand.
No, it's not.
No. And I mean, you go to Wisconsin, you're going to get shot. But I do agree. I got back from Wisconsin last week, so I'm in the clear to talk shit about cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, you got to try the curds. I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not Yeah. No, when you start thinking about cheese too much, any cheese really, it is upsetting.
Yeah.
But the French, they've nailed cheese.
Yeah.
The Italians, the real Italians, not a
that's
Chef
true.
Boyardee Italian such as yourself. But the mozzarella, and it's really good cheese. And this American cheese is so bad. It is so subpar. I would rather have a hamburger than a cheeseburger because I would prefer cheddar on my burger because that's how foul I think American cheese is. And it's so disappointing to our brand as a nation that we have such subpar, lackluster,
American
over-processed, unpatriotic, not on brand cheese, and I've had it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that is what other cheese would America have, if not an over-processed plastic, fake
That's true.
square of cheese that you can't tell if the wrapper is actually off of it or not when you bite into it. Yeah.
Shiny.
It's got like a sheen to it.
Are you suggesting that the cheese is symbolic of our national identity as a whole?
I think I am.
For the permanent record?
I think I am.
All right.
You can never go back to Wisconsin now.
Permanent record. You know what? I agree with you, Matt.
See?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. We got to get our shit together. We're always kind of saying, these Americans, not all of us can be as rock solid as the three of us in this room.
I know.
It's
a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to tell you guys something I've had it with. Okay, this is happening to me all the time.
Okay.
I'm on my phone and I'm like deep diving on Instagram or doing something very like, I'm on the hunt, deep, dark investigation, deep in Google, deep on the gram. And I'm down and then I go back up to hit something at the top of my phone. And at the exact time that I want to hit the arrow to go back, an alert pops up. And then I inadvertently hit the alert instead of where I wanted to go.
Right.
And I don't want to hit the alert. Does this happen to you all a lot?
I know exactly what you're talking about. It is very upsetting. The problem is when you get a message that you don't want to read right away.
And you don't want it to be shown as seen too soon.
And then you accidentally click on it. And you should be able to click unseen.
Yes.
Or something.
Yes, I agree because this happens to me.
Yeah.
I'm in the DMs somewhere and then I respond to one. And then I'm going about my troll, monitoring some accounts that I like to monitor, right? I'm checking some things out, seeing what's going on the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
And then I go back up to hit the back arrow. And at the same time, it's like, Matt has sent you a message. Like it's a reply to the one I just sent 2 seconds ago, but I think I'm hitting the arrow. But right at that time, then I'm back in the DM and it shows seen immediately.
Yeah.
Then I look like a psychopath.
Yeah.
Who's
you're just
parked in
waiting.
the DMs.
You cannot wait until they send you a message.
It.
No, this happens to me all the time. The problem for me is that I am the person who's desperately waiting for the reply. You don't want to seem like the person who's waiting for it.
Right. It's fun to kind of be able, when you have the hidden messages and you can see what they all say without hitting accept.
Right.
See, then you look like you're cool.
Yeah.
You're not in there marking scene on everything. You're not a psycho parked out in the DMs.
Right. I love the hidden message folder. It's hit or miss though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you both get this, but sometimes I'll have people who accidentally forward my own story to me
all the time.
I'll post that I'm doing shows and then people will send me my own story and say, do we like him? Is he funny? I'm like, I do. We do.
Yeah, we
really
do.
Funny.
Yeah.
We do like him.
It could be worse, I suppose.
Okay, so Matt, tell us about yourself. You are from Chicago. You live in New York.
Yes.
You're a comedian.
Yes.
And now you're on tour.
Yeah, now I'm doing stand-up shows and I'm really coming to the end of shows this year. So I'm in Oklahoma City tonight and then Louisville is the last show of the year, which is mid-December.
Okay, how do you feel about being in deep red Bible Belt territory?
Well, here's the thing.
And I want you to be as unfiltered as possible.
You won't hurt our feelings.
I am always a little nervous when I get to the Bible Belt.
Right.
That I'm going to tell a blowjob joke.
Right.
And, someone's going to whip out a belt and start spanking me or
Well, a
something.
belt would
I don't
be.
know. That got weird.
No, I love that. A belt would be a gift.
I mean, yeah, really what I'm afraid of is not a belt.
Because we have an open carry in the state.
I'm sure. I drove here from Tulsa this morning and the number of billboards that I saw for gun shows.
It's unbelievable.
Did you see Jesus billboards too?
Yeah.
What,
Just all
any
of
Trump?
it. No.
There's
no,
one
surprisingly.
There's one on the way to
I-35.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still a Trump billboard out.
Trump 2020 billboard.
I slept for most of the ride, so yeah. I also have done shows and like, you know, I'll be on stage and I'll see people in the audience and they just don't look like the type of demographic that is going to love a blowjob joke. And they're kind of sitting with their arms crossed. And I'm like, oh, someone brought their dad and he is hating this right now. And then they'll come up to me after and it'll be like a gay couple who has Hillary Clinton as their background on their iPhone. And they're like, we loved you so much. And I'm like, see, you can't really judge.
You really cannot.
I have some great news for you. We are a demographic that loves a blowjob joke.
We do. I mean, you're in good company
And
today.
so-
I knew it. I knew I'd be coming into.
You know, the last time Pumps gave a blowjob, I asked her recently,
I cannot believe we're
was
bringing this up.
2004.
Okay.
2004.
Times have
2004
changed
was
a
the
little
last blowjob she gave. So could you share a couple of blowjob jokes with us? Maybe it could, you know, I don't know, spark something in Pumps.
That make me dying to put a dick in my mouth? I sincerely doubt it.
Get right
Yeah,
back down
no,
on
I
your
don't know if my blowjob jokes encourage blowjobs. If anything, everybody's going home and thinking like, let's lay off a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about our age is like, I think 90% of the people that I know, like, they don't give blowjobs anymore. It's like, we're married.
Yeah.
We're done with blowjobs. Like, that's circa 1995.
I have to have one blowjob joke because I like bad humor.
I mean, I talk about how my doctor has told me I need to stop drinking because I have acid reflux. And acid reflux, you know, is when your stomach sends all of the juices back up the pipe. It does mean a blowjob from me comes with hot and tingly sensations. So I will burn your dick off, but it will be worth it.
Told you, we're a great audience.
Yeah,
for this
we
shit.
love this
Yeah,
shit.
I told that in Tulsa last night, and I don't know. There was mixed reviews.
Okay, Matt. So what we like to do here more than anything
Mm-hmm.
is shit talk.
Yes.
Okay, because there is a lot of fuckery that goes on.
Uh-huh.
And we have to know, what have you had it with lately?
Okay, so one thing I have had it with is, when did we go astray? When did cake stop just being cake? When could we not just enjoy a slice of delicious cake without having to make it look like something else?
Right.
Because more often than not, the second you start trying to make it look like a shoe or a purse or like a hamburger, taste goes down the toilet.
Agree.
And I care too much about cake to let it be disrespected in this way.
You are a cake advocate.
If nobody else will stand up for cake,
It's you.
who will?
We're going to join you in
Yeah.
this because
Yeah.
I think this is something that nobody's talking about this.
No, they're feeding into the is it cake
Cake has been
industrial
hijacked.
complex.
They are.
Yeah.
Right. Big Bakery.
Mm-hmm.
Big Bakery is taking down good cakes.
Yeah.
Just a basic fucking cake. A round, a rectangle, a square.
Right.
Call it.
Give me a Sam's Club sheet cake any
Right.
day.
Whipped icing, I'm your girl.
Yes.
No, but you're right. It tastes awful.
They
Right.
do. They always
If you're
look good, taste awful.
Wrapping cake in fondant, like that is not, nobody wants to eat that. It is only for the aesthetic. And it's like at that point, the related thing is there's one guy in particular, and he's a very hot French chef. So I'll give him that. But he is like the chocolate sculpturist.
Oh, I've seen him
Yes.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He has a show on Netflix or whatever. And I'm like, at a certain point, you might as well just use concrete. Like, if
Right.
I can't actually eat it, then
Why
what
do you
does it
have it?
matter if it's edible? You know,
Right.
like technically it's edible, but like it's not because I can't actually eat it.
Right. You can't go break off a piece and do it because then
Right.
you ruin the sculpture. Yeah, but no, if it's a nice sculpture. Did you ever watch that Cake Boss show?
Yeah, see, I think he's the one who started it all.
I think he's the one that started it. And I bet you $1,000 those cakes tasted terrible.
Yeah, I feel like we have prized aesthetics over flavor, and that's not wow me with taste and texture. That doesn't sell on TV, but sell it in my mouth is what I'm after.
Right. I'm in the aesthetic business. I'm an interior designer, so I appreciate aesthetics.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want the cake to look like
No,
shit.
but I'm with you on this
Yeah.
because I've been to so many weddings or a fucking baby shower or a wedding shower that I didn't want to go to any of them. But I go because sometimes I'm a decent person.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sometimes. And then I'm really excited about the cake portion, right? And then you get the cake. And then you get this icing that literally has the texture of clay that you played with when you were a child. And before I got the cake, my mouth starts watering like Pavlov's dog. I'm imagining the buttercream. I'm imagining the whole.
It looks nice.
Yeah. And then I get it in the mouth and it's dog shit. It is dog clay. It is a constipated piece of dog shit on the outside of that cake, and it's so upsetting.
Why is it chewy? My jaw hurts all of a sudden.
Yeah. We need to defend cake.
Yeah. Give me the cake that the Trunchbull ate in Matilda any day of the week. It could look like someone dropped it on the floor, but if it tastes good, I'll take it.
Yeah, agree.
Do you take pictures of your food?
I have in the past,
but is so embarrassing.
I haven't done it in a while.
Have you posted pictures of food on your Instagram?
Probably if you scroll back far enough, you'd find one. But I think no. If I make something myself, then I'll take a picture of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
We can make an exception
Okay.
here or there. I think if you make something yourself,
that's different than you order
photograph it.
something.
And here's the deal. We're going to Mexico in a couple of weeks. We could 100% take pictures of our food and post it on Instagram. And if that's the case, we change the entire permanent record right there on the spot.
Right.
That's how this works.
That's true. This part of the podcast will have never existed.
Right.
No, I like to think, I always say, because I feel like dating apps and food menus are very similar. Like everybody is posting their dating app photos like their Olive Garden or the Cheesecake Factory. And it's all of these like glistening photos where everything looks fantastic.
Yeah,
and then you get the plate and it's like, this is slop.
Yeah.
That's like, I just feel like your food, oftentimes the grimiest looking food is like the food that tastes the best.
Agree.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like a good hometown restaurant where all of the food looks like it was dropped on the floor a little bit.
Yeah.
That's always the greatest food.
Yeah. You also mentioned you've got some hang up with coffee.
Oh, that's right.
What's going on with coffee? Tell us what this grievance is, because we're always on the hunt for new things to be pissed off about.
I do not think you should, if you're making it at home and it's taking you longer than 45 seconds to make your cup of coffee, something is wrong. You're doing too much. There are people posting videos on TikTok where they open up a cabinet and have an entire Starbucks worth of flavored syrups in their own pump bottles. And
It's too much.
It's too much.
I oppose syrups and coffees.
Same.
Just
I'm
let
a black coffee girl.
Let coffee be coffee.
Yeah.
Why do we have to pump shit into fucking everything?
Right.
I've had it with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like coffee in Europe, in Italy, in your homeland.
Yes.
It's you have espresso, cafe americano, latte, cappuccino. That's fucking it. That's the list.
If you try to order anything else, they'll spit in your face.
That's all you get. That's the choice. You know what I think the problem with capitalism is? Too many choices.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gets overwhelming.
Too much. I mean, one of Pumps's things that she's pissed off about is how long it takes people to make up their mind what to order at Starbucks.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
You should, by now you should know.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody goes, like the people that I'm most bitching about, I know for a fact they go 4 times a week. I'm like, this is not a surprise menu.
Right.
I go twice a year. I know exactly what I'm going to order.
Yeah. Like they're not inventing new stuff, really. My related beef is people who make just very elaborate like high-end coffee at home where they're like measuring, you know, the beans on a little scale and then grinding it. And
I can get into that. You know why?
really?
I respect coffee.
Yeah, but at a certain point, I'm like, what are we doing?
Do you
This
not
is
have
too
more to do
much.
than worry about how much coffee and all
But,
that? I mean,
Like, I guess I love coffee, but also I just love caffeine.
Yes.
And so I'm not above just you know, Cafe Bustelo instant, slap that in a cup with some boiling water if I'm desperate.
Yeah.
It's not my preference, but like that is, I just want the caffeine,
Right.
you know? And so when I see people who are spending 20 minutes to make a single 6-ounce cup of coffee,
it's counterproductive.
yeah, just they have those $600 espresso machines on their countertops and they're running a whole coffee shop.
They've got a whole
Okay,
Starbucks
let me
on the
tell
ground.
you guys this. At my old house, I had one of those built-in Miele coffee makers that's built into the wall. The water's plumb back there, right? Because I love coffee and I respect coffee.
Okay, so
I'm not
you're
gonna-
exactly who I'm talking
Exactly.
about.
I'm not going to bastardize the coffee. But here's the thing. You push a button and it makes whatever you want. So it doesn't, you're not spending 45 minutes on it. I love the coffee that this machine made. You put the beans in it, would grind it. Here was the fucking problem with the Miele coffee maker. It was the bossiest piece of equipment I've ever owned. It's bossier than my Apple Watch.
Oh, that's
It's
hard to do.
unbelievable. This watch, it rules my life. Stand up. You're in a place that's too loud. I do
Right.
everything it says, right? This coffee maker, you would get up in the morning, and again, Pavlov's dog, like all I can think about is that, you know, that like dark, and I'm talking pharmaceutical strength coffee hitting my
Yes.
taste buds.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm imagining going in there and hitting the start button, and then it goes, it's time to descale your coffee maker.
Oh, that's the worst.
Descaling of
Right.
this thing takes like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it was like, empty this, add more this. And I was just like, fucking A, I just want the pod. So when we moved to our new house, I didn't put the Miele coffee maker in it, despite it makes fantastic coffee.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like all the maintenance of it.
More trouble than it's worth.
Yeah, it just seems that's why I truly am the opposite. I like go get my bucket of well water outside and just pour it in whatever shitty $10 coffee machine that I bought.
Okay, tell us how you feel about the cycle of hydration.
Oh, yes. Listen, I've been on like a fitness journey the past several years. I feel like the number one thing is
Hang on, I have to stop you right there. Did you just say fitness journey?
Journey.
Oh, no. Did I step in it?
Did you say journey?
I think you
That's
did.
just the simplest way to put it. Okay.
Okay, I just want it noted for the permanent record that we didn't let it slide. Tell us about your fitness journey. Go ahead.
Really what I'm trying to say is that one of the main things that it's like, you know, all of these fitness people are like even more important than going to the gym and eating properly is just staying hydrated.
Right.
But the second I have a sip of water, I have to pee. It is constant, unrelenting. I didn't ask for this. I don't understand. We need whatever the opposite of like getting your stomach stapled for my bladder. I want that. Blow it up more. There's got to be a way. Because yeah, I mean, I'm sure the older I'm getting now, yes, I'm like, okay, I have to get up to pee like twice a week.
Yeah.
Twice a night,
Yes.
if only twice
Sorry,
a week.
so wouldn't that be heaven?
Yeah.
It would be heaven, especially at night.
Yeah.
It's nothing worse.
And I know at this point, people are like, you're diabetic, you have this disease or whatever. Probably. But for the time being, I'm just going to complain about it. I don't. It's a never-ending cycle
I
of
agree with you.
hydrating and pissing.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Also, Kylie, she intentionally dehydrates to avoid peeing.
That's smart.
That's what I think.
If you got to cut corners somewhere, then I say do it. See, my issue is that I'm so lazy that I'll just hold it for too long, and that's bad. You're not supposed to do that. It
Right.
turns
Urinary
out.
tract infection.
Yeah, no, the number of times I have gone to the doctor saying, I think I have a UTI, and then the doctor has literally told me, I get 10 women a day who come in with a UTI. I get one man a year who has a UTI.
And it's always you.
And his point was like, you don't have a UTI. And I was like, no, I'm your guy, actually. It's me. But yeah, the number of times that I will buy the cranberry concentrate because I think I need it.
Yeah.
I'm convinced I'm like the only man who knows the
Have
pain.
you ever had one? A UTI?
I don't think I have. No,
so you're a hypochondriac.
Self-diagnosed.
I am a hypochondriac, but only about UTIs. And so I don't know if you talked about this before, but I have had it with cranberry concentrate because they need to warn you on the bottle. Have you had it?
No, what's going on with cranberry concentrate?
Okay, so we have very clean urethras in the room. But mine, that's supposed to be like a natural
Right. I've always
cure.
heard that.
Right.
But it's not just like Welch's cranberry juice.
That's what the only thing I've ever had.
No, it's like cranberry concentrate, and it tastes like you're swallowing a firework. Like it is the tartest. It hits you in the back of the throat.
So you don't dilute it.
You're supposed to kind of dilute it, but even if you dilute it, it's still the worst thing you've ever tasted.
Really?
Yeah, it is so powerful and so strong. And it definitely feels like, oh, this has got to be doing something.
Because it's so potent.
Yeah. But I'm convinced no other man on earth knows the taste except me because I convince myself I have a UTI constantly.
Because you're a hypochondriac specific to UTIs.
Right.
Yeah. And it's only because I never want to get up to pee, so I hold it and then I give myself an issue.
And
I
then
hate to ask, is there an STD issue here we're having that we have some PTSD about?
No, probably not. If we're being let's just say the odds are if we're putting the odds on one thing or the other, it's likelier that it's because I'm lazy.
More frequency.
Right, exactly. Yeah, if we had to count up the number of times, it's because I didn't get up to pee rather than because I had sex.
Right. I feel your pain.
Right.
Okay, Matt, we're going to play a game with you called Had It or Hit It.
Got it.
Oh my God. Welcome to Had It or Hit It. I would hit it.
Had it.
Had it. I hit it every day, sometimes twice a day. Had it or hit it, man on the street videos.
Absolutely had it. No more. The second I see someone with a microphone outside, my holes clench up. The internet has given too many people the power to think that they can just interview whoever they want on the street.
I agree, because let me tell you something. Pumps and I, when our podcast was about, 5 months old?
Yeah.
So Pumps and Kylie and I go to New York.
Uh-huh.
And we thought we were hot shit.
No.
We take the baby mics.
Yeah, you whipped out the remote.
Yes.
We go to Washington Square Park.
Oh, that's ground zero for
For stupid.
for man on the street
And
interviews.
we think we're going to stop people and ask them questions. First and foremost, I want to give the people credit that do this because it's a lot harder to find a candidate than you think.
Yeah. Especially in New York.
But we did it for about 15 to 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
We netted 0 usable videos and now have joined you in the had it category.
Yeah. I mean, I went to journalism school, spent $50,000 a year, or someone did. I don't know. We're still paying it off.
Thank you,
Joe
Mom.
Biden, please. Let's forgive those loans. But yeah, and we had to learn like how to do man on the street interviews. And it's basically like, get ready to be humiliated.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard.
And yeah, I think that these teens on TikTok should have to go to journalism school before we let them just whip out a mic
I
in
agree.
Washington Square
I agree.
Park.
You've got to have some sort of experience, training. It's not on the job training. They need to be degreed.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would have been banished and that was fine
Okay.
because we failed miserably.
Okay. Had it or hit it, charcuterie boards.
In general, I've had it. I think, just I don't want to put my meal together for myself. I'd prefer it be made for me. In a charcuterie board, you're just giving me ingredients and telling me to make something of it.
Yeah.
I'm not a grazer,
Right.
I'm not. I like to have a full. It's why I don't like I don't like a Korean barbecue place where they just bring you raw meat and I gotta cook it
Yeah.
myself. I
Too
know
many
that's a cultural
decisions.
thing, so I'm treading carefully. But yeah, I just don't. I like stuff being made for me.
I like for them to tell me what's in it, and then I can be like, okay, I like that. Because whenever I go to one of those places,
Yeah,
I cannot decide. I mean, I'm the person that I hate at Starbucks.
right.
I'm like looking at it. What does this taste like? Asking everybody what the sauces are. I mean, I'm horrible. But I do love a charcuterie board.
I do too.
I do
I'm a
like,
grazer though.
I like to graze.
I like to graze.
It depends.
And I'm going to go off brand here and contradict myself. I think they're kind of pretty.
They are kind of pretty.
They can be in the right hands.
Right. Some of them look stupid.
You strike me as the kind of people who are going to a person's house where they're going to have a nice charcuterie board.
Yeah.
I'm going to like people's apartments in Brooklyn where they're just kind of throwing whatever shit they have.
Like a Lunchable.
Yeah.
It's like a Lunchable after.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay. Had it or hit it, dentists.
Oh, that's a big had it.
Hate.
Yeah. I mean, now I feel whenever I talk about the dentist, I feel like I need to cover my mouth. Yeah, I literally have a follow-up dentist appointment because I had enough cavities where they were like, we're going to fill some today and you're going to have to come back for round 2. So I have to go back next week, actually. Yeah, dentists are so passive aggressive.
They are. Do you take the nitrous oxide?
See, this is what pissed me off about the dentist I went to in New York once, never went back, because he basically was like, you have a cavity in every tooth, essentially, is what he told me. Not actually. But he was like, you got a lot of them, and we got to take care of these. And also, some of them, because I still have my wisdom teeth, he was like, some of them are back there. And at that point, we should just take them out because like it's hard to fill a cavity in a wisdom tooth. And so I was like, great. So you just knock me out, right? And take them all out at once. And he was like, funny. And I was like, what do you mean? No, you're going to knock me out, right? And he was like, no. And then he said, it's always the big guys who come in and act like they're afraid. And I was
what
like,
a dick.
Yeah. So he called me a pussy to my face in the dentist chair.
When
while
you're
I'm
getting ready to
drooling
pay
all
for
over.
wisdom teeth.
Right. So I did not let him take out
No.
a single tooth or fill a single cavity.
I saw something recently. I can't remember if it was a true crime show, but it was about dentists
They're freaks.
that say that you have cavities and you don't. It's a fucking racket.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hadn't
And they
heard
say that
that.
you should get like second opinions.
Yes. I've actually seen one. I, again, could be totally made up and I'm just presenting it as fact.
Let's roll with it.
But it was like they did some study, who knows, where they sent some people to the dentist with like a suit and tie on and some people with like casual clothes to see if they would get different. It was like the same person they'd send to 2 dentists, but in, different clothing. And they found that I think it was the person in the casual clothes got charged more. Because they
Really?
assume that the person in like the business clothes would be more like onto their shit. And so they need to be more. I could be mixing it up, but the point is that like they sometimes will tailor their diagnosis.
The point is, dentists are running a racket.
It's a racket.
Your dentist called you a pussy. We're adding dentists to the things we've had it with. We're at war with dentists.
Yeah. And I went to a different dentist, the one that I like now. And yeah, he was like, oh, I did have 5 cavities, which is better than 1 in every tooth.
Right.
And so, so I'm getting those filled. Yeah. But the fact that it was a different diagnosis, I'm like, what, are we not looking at the same mouth?
That's problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Had it or hit it, mornings.
I'll say hit it. I
Same.
sometimes, I might have written that I hate mornings and now I'm going 180, but no, I'm trying to be a morning person. I always want to be a morning person. And so I'll give them that. I want to be someone who wakes up with the sun and like hears birds and isn't angry and, enjoys my coffee, but rarely does it work out that way.
We are morning people.
Yeah.
Early.
Big time.
What time is the alarm going off?
There's no alarm. It's a natural wake up.
I've had it with people who say that they don't use an alarm.
We don't use alarms. Okay. On top of all the other things that we just fucking crush life at, we are great morning people. Okay.
Yeah.
So add that to your list of grievances
Yeah.
about us. So when we are on tour, we share a room because we like to spend time together.
Uh-huh.
We both wake up at like 5. Naturally, we have the
Wow.
coffee delivered to the room.
Yeah.
Pumps goes and makes my coffee, and she knows I just like a touch of cream,
Uh-huh.
not some pussy coffee,
Just a
real
just a
coffee,
touch.
and
Right.
just a touch, just a tiny little touch. And she brings it over and she puts it on my nightstand with enthusiasm and pleasure. And we are in the best of moods, and then we start tackling the big things of the day.
I love that.
Like Wordle and connections and
Yes.
the mini New York Times crossword puzzle. And
I
then we
do love
share
those.
each other the results. All of this happens before 5:30 a.m. and our frowns are turned upside down. We fucking crush mornings.
Yeah.
But you should see us at 9 o'clock. It's just a fucking disaster. It's a
So that's-
disaster.
Yeah, that's when I'm starting the day. And it does make me feel, because I also I'll do Wordle, all of them. I'll do
Yeah.
the full crossword
Oh, you
every day.
will. Very
yeah, it's
impressive.
Yeah. And I have a pretty good streak going, actually. I don't want to brag, but I do, because I'm clearly bringing out my phone.
All right, tell me how many. Let's see.
I have a 51-day streak of doing.
That's impressive.
And my
That
longest one is almost a year.
That is fucking
Over a year.
That is child's play. That is embarrassing. I have 51-day streak. Just
I don't know what happened 51 days ago.
wait
but
till you see,
I
this.
broke my streak accidentally too, and she browbeats me about it. Yours should be over 2 years.
Mine's like 500 something.
Wow.
Yeah, with 100% completion rate.
Wow. Yeah. And I'll get thrown off one day, and then,
Yeah.
it really screws me over.
All right, last one. Had it or hit it, Harry Potter.
Oh, I mean, I gotta say, had it. Yeah. At this point in 2023, we cannot support Harry Potter. I'm sorry.
Has to be over.
Yeah.
Everything good must come to an end at some point.
Like, I was a fan. I grew
Yeah.
up with them.
Yeah.
I actually, this is a brag, although it's not, because now Harry Potter is canceled. But like, I was one of the first kids. This is such an obnoxious thing to say. I was one of the first kids who read Harry Potter in my class. And I remember it because I was in 5th grade and my teacher called over the couple of us who had read it, and she was like, "Is it okay for my kid to read? Because I'm hearing some stuff that it's like satanic." Because
Oh, God.
if you recall,
Yeah.
There was a big
they
hubbub.
were like, if you read the hidden message in Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling wants your kid to, suck the devil's dick or whatever. And so I was like an early adopter, loved it. But yeah,
Right.
now J.K. Rowling is a piece of shit.
She's a
Yeah.
total piece
Yeah.
of shit, and she keeps doubling and tripling
Yeah, she
down on
doesn't
it, doesn't
just shut
she?
up.
It's honestly like, it saddens me that she
Truly.
has this huge platform and is just unapologetically a piece of shit. And like, is just, if a middle finger in the face of all of the fans who have been
So
supportive
loyal
of her.
and
Yes.
made her, because she was like almost homeless when those books were
Yeah.
published, and now she's a billionaire.
Right.
Well, and here's what I think like the lowest of all humanity is if you're out there picking on transgendered children.
Right.
Literally the most vulnerable
That's
among
who
us.
Of the
you
most
want to
vulnerable.
pick on and browbeat and single out. Like I saw Candace Owens on TikTok the other day, and she was just going off. And I thought, you are browbeating transgendered children.
Right.
That is literally the meanest, cruelest thing you could possibly do. They're not hurting you.
Mhm.
It's none of your fucking business. Shut the fuck up. Does it make you feel like a big girl? Do you feel like you're hot shot now picking on a transgendered child?
Yeah.
I mean, have some fucking decency. And you know who does it? It's all these conservatives. It drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah. It makes me sick.
It does
it's
me
sickening.
too.
The, because they don't actually believe any of this stuff, that they're actually helping kids.
No.
I don't believe
No,
it.
they don't
No,
even
they don't,
care.
because they supported Trump when he separated the kids from their families at the border. That's
Right.
not pro-kid.
Right.
That's creating generational trauma.
Mhm.
So no, they don't give a fuck about kids.
No, they
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
It's awful.
The amount of statistics and stuff that it's like providing children with this care is literally life-saving.
Yes.
That, if the concern is, what if they regret it?
Right.
More people regret getting tattoos. Like,
Right.
Totally.
And we let people do that.
Anybody at
whenever.
18 can go get 15 if they want, but they do
Right.
massive psychological studies, psychiatric studies. I mean, it's not like a snap decision.
Right. Yeah. So it is.
I agree with you.
Yeah. And the fact that someone with as big of a platform as J.K. Rowling has just like flushed her legacy down the toilet.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, out of all the things, you're J.K. Rowling, you have all this money, you've had all this success, and out of all the things you get wound up about in life,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Right.
That's it. That's the thing that winds you up. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
That's what you pick. It's not, like child labor laws in third world countries.
Right.
Or Kentucky. Either one.
But anyway, I cannot tell you how great it's been having you here.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
It's so fun to have people drop by the studio.
Yes,
So good
of
in person.
course.
I love it.
Okay, this is the part where we have to talk about you real quick behind your back.
Okay.
I really loved having Matt on.
So much fun.
I thought he was so fun. It was so nice of him to come to Oklahoma City,
It
didn't you
was.
think?
He's lovely.
Yeah. All right, listener. Matt, tell our listener where they can find you.
I'm on the internet at Matt Bellassai, wherever, you can find me.
Just fucking Google him.
Instagram, TikTok. Yeah.
All right, listen up, listener. Follow us. Go give us 5-star reviews. If you leave a 1-star review, make sure it's at least really readable and fun and good. But we prefer the 5-star. Follow us on Patreon, Hot Shit Tour. Send us a voice memo to Instagram to be featured on I've Had It Pumps Tell 'em.
We will see you next Tuesday or Thursday or both.